Hello there, Professor Warsi. In the previous lesson on pronunciation, I explained and showed you how to pronounce American English consonants. Okay? So this is an extension of the previous lesson. If you haven't taken it, please do that first before taking this lesson. Today, we will pronounce both voiced and voiceless consonants, and I'll show you step by step articulation. I'll give you some tips, and I'll, of course, pronounce each sound for you. I need you to listen to me carefully and repeat after me. Okay? So let's begin. There are 25 American English consonants. 1. P. P. Imagine blowing a candle. P. P. As in pat. 2. B. B. Bat. 3. T. T. Top. 4. D. D. Dog. 5. K. K. Cat. 6. G. G. Go. 7. F. F. Fun. 8. V. V. Van. 9. Th. Th. Think. 10. Th. Th. This. 11. S. S. Sit. 12. Z. Z. Zebra. 13. Sh. Sh. Shoe. 14. J. J. Measure. 15. Hat. 16. Ch. Ch. Cheese. 17. J. J. Jump. 18. M. M. Man. 19. N. N. Name. 20. N. N. Song. 21. L. L. Light. 22. Run. 23. What? Water. 24. Yet. 25. Wheel. So these are the 25 American English consonants. What we will do now is we will pronounce each one of them separately, individually, and I'll give you some tips on how to pronounce them. But. Now let's pronounce some words that begin with this consonant. Bat, boat, ball, bell. So, in order for you to pronounce this sound correctly, first thing you need to do is you press your lips together. Very easy, right? And then release the sound with voice. But. Okay? Let's pronounce this sound. D. D. Doll. Dog. Deal. Date. So the tip of your tongue, it touches the alveolar ridge, which is the area right behind your upper teeth. Up. Okay? So do that. Touch your alveolar ridge with the tip of your tongue and then release the sound. Okay? D. D. So tap your tongue gently. G. Go. Gills. Guide. Gain. So just keep repeating after me, but first hear the sound. Okay, listen to me first very carefully and then just repeat the sound. How do we say G? Okay, what happens is the back of your tongue, if you pronounce G, G, you will notice that your back of your tongue is raised and it touches the soft palate all the way in the back of your mouth. So after you make that contact, then you release the sound. G, G. Okay? Now, next up is V. V. Let's pronounce some words that begin with this sound. Van, video, victory, vent. How do we pronounce it? If you noticed, if you were paying attention to how I'm pronouncing it, you may have noticed that my bottom lip, it touches the top teeth. And that is how you pronounce this fricative. V. So make sure your bottom lip, or lower lip if you want, touches your upper teeth. V, and you let voice flow out. Okay? This one is pronounced, obviously is a voiced consonant because we are going over the voiced consonant first. The, this, these, those, them. So what happens now? Your tongue touches your upper teeth. Remember in the previous sound, it was the lower lip that was touching the upper teeth? This time, it's your tongue touching your upper teeth. The. So let voice flow through or flow out and pronounce this sound with vibration. This. Okay. Next up. Z. So it sounds like a B, right? Like a bee going zzz, zoo, zebra, zone, zero. How do we pronounce this sound? Bring your tongue close to the alveolar ridge, but don't use the tip of your tongue. This sound is not t, it's z. So you let air and voice pass through your oral cavity, your mouth. Z. Okay, next up is zh. Zh. This is a sound we borrowed from the French language. Measure, pleasure, treasure, closure. So keep your tongue close to the heart palate, okay, right here, up, and you let your voice out, release the voice, like zh in treasure. Very good. So far, so good. I hope you're doing well. Next up is j, jam, joke, jail, jealous. How do we pronounce this sound? Your tongue touches the ridge and the hard palate, two parts. Okay? So the tongue is raised and it touches the ridge and the area behind the ridge. Remember the alveolar ridge right behind your upper teeth? And then you release the sound with voice. Okay? So another way of looking at this sound is as if you were combining d and zh, and it combines, it becomes one sound. Okay? J. All right. Next up, the easiest sound ever to pronounce. Regardless of the first language, babies, as they grow up, they begin with this bilabial sound because it's very easy, right? Or some people say they begin pronouncing monosyllabic words such as ma. They will go ma 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 ma. So it's the easiest, right? All you have to do is join your lips. Man, mind, male, master. How do we pronounce this word? As I just explained to you, it's very easy. All you have to do is close your lips. And then the sound goes through your nose, right here, right? So if you pinch your nose and try to pronounce this sound, it's going to sound very funny, right? Let me try. So the air is not coming out of my nose. It's not going through my nose. Okay? So hum gently. That's one tip for you. All right. So next nasal consonant is n, net, name, nail, nice. Now this time ma, you had to close your lips, but to pronounce n, raise your tip, the tip of your tongue, and touch your alveolar ridge with this. Okay, like na, na, na. Let air out through your nose. And if you pinch your nose again, you see, sounds weird. So these are the three sounds in American English that are called nasal, because the nose is involved. The last nasal consonant, sing, king, thing, fling. So how do we pronounce this? Do you remember pronouncing g, g? So it's the back of your tongue that touches the soft palate, and air goes through your nose. Okay? Lip, light, late, loud. Your tip of your tongue touches the alveolar ridge, and air this time flows around both sides, from the right and from the left. It lightly touches the ridge. So the tip of the tongue touches the ridge, and air flows around the sides. Red, right, rain, road. The curl tongue back. Curl your tongue back without touching. So don't, unlike t, d, do not touch, okay, the oral cavity, the upper alveolar ridge, or the area behind the alveolar ridge, the hard palate. Don't touch. All you need to do is go like this. Watch. If this is your tongue, you go or make sure that it doesn't touch the roof of your mouth, and then you let voice out. So curl the tongue, go very good. Next sound is y, y as in yes, yes. Your, yellow, yeast, yeast. Remember, it's not east, east. That's e. That's a different sound. This one is y, yeast. So raise your tongue near the hard palate without touching it. Okay, and then you let voice out. Very good. Moving on. Win, winter, willow, waste. Now, you see how my lips are rounded when I pronounce this what? And notice I'm not pressing the lips. I'm not saying what. No. Notice this. There's like an area that's still open, almost like an aperture in my mouth. So I'm just rounding my lips. I'm saying win, winter, willow, waste. All right? Now this is important. If you noticed, there's an X. There's a red X, okay, to the left of the voiceless consonants. Why is that? So notice that the throat does not vibrate, and that is why these consonant sounds are called voiceless. So if you put your index finger on your vocal cords here and pronounce p, p, nothing happens. The throat doesn't vibrate anymore, right? You could try this little test, if you will, a little exercise rather. You can say p, p, and then b. Do you notice what happens when you pronounce b? The vocal cords vibrate, but when you say p, nothing happens in the throat. So pin, p, paint, p, pillow, p, police. So press your lips and release with air. So first you press your lips, you go, okay, and pressure builds up, and then you release. P, p. Very good. The next consonant sound is an alveolar sound. T, t, top, tape, towel, chain. So this time, remember that the tip of your tongue touches the alveolar ridge. So you make that contact with the tip of your tongue. T, 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 tape. Just like a soft pop you'd hear. Tape, towel. All right? Next up is k. Now remember, these are all voiceless consonants, right? We finished pronouncing the voiced consonants, and now we are pronouncing the voiceless consonants in American English. K, k. So the back of your tongue touches the soft palate. Okay, so a little constriction, a little block is made in the oral cavity in the back, and then you let go of air. You release air. Cat, coast, chronic, kite. Okay? Very good. Next sound is f. Now, a voiced counterpart of this voiceless consonant is v. Do you remember pronouncing it? V, video, right? Video. This time, it's a voiceless consonant, but the area of articulation is, or place of articulation is the same. So the lower lip touches the upper teeth here. If you just follow me, and I hope that you're pronouncing with me, fine, faint, feel, frame. Keep in mind, your bottom lip touches the upper teeth. Okay? Very good. How are you doing? So far, so good? I know pronunciation is hard, but it's very important for you to pronounce the sounds correctly. Because if you mispronounce a consonant, native speakers of English will misunderstand you. They will say, I'm sorry, what did you say? Okay, so let's do this. The voiceless consonant that we are going to pronounce together is th. Some words with this sound are think, thanks, thanks. You know how people say, oh, thank you, thrive, throat. So your tongue tip, it's between the teeth. It says so think of it as biting your tongue, but not too hard, very gently, right? You don't want to hurt your tongue. So you just go your tongue between the teeth, and then you let the air come out. Okay? Think. Let me think about this. Okay. Moving on. So your tongue, when you say s, is the blade of your tongue, it sort of touches your alveolar, but does not make a firm contact. And once you do this, then you let air out, and it sounds like hissing like a snake, saying s, s. Sun, seal, seek, sail. I need you to know that I'm exaggerating these sounds. People don't say, oh, look at the sun, right? But I'm just doing this just to reinforce the sound, so you get the idea. Okay? Seek, sail. All right. We're almost there. If you come this far, I thank you for your patience and hard work. We have maybe 3 or 4 more sounds, I think. 3 more. Shh. Shh. That's like, remember how if somebody's being loud and you're trying to study, you go, shh. Or you could do it like, shh. Shh. Keep quiet. Be quiet. Shh. Ship. Shame. Shrine. Shape. So your tongue is near the hard palate, and then air flows out, just like you're trying to quiet someone down. Shh. Okay, very good. The next sound is h. H. Let's pronounce some words. Hat, hide, home, hide. Notice the difference? Hide and then height. The first one is voiced and the second one is voiceless. So open your throat. Remember, there is no constriction, right? Nothing is blocked in your oral cavity inside your mouth. Just air that comes out of your mouth. It just blows air gently, like as if you heard a funny joke and you're laughing. You're saying ha 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 ha. So that is the sound. Just breath, no buzzing, like zzz, no. Okie doke. Next sound is ch, ch. Remember, it's a voiceless consonant, so you can always test this, right? Touch your vocal cord with your index finger and say ch, ch. The throat doesn't vibrate, correct? Ch, chip, chain, child, cheese. So your tongue touches the alveolar ridge and your soft palate. All right, so this is wonderful. I'm so proud of you. You finished pronouncing all 25 consonants. So let's look at some of the tips. I have about 5 tips for you so you can keep practicing pronunciation. Minimal pairs. Now, minimal pairs are a pair of words, that's why they're called pairs, that sound almost the same except for one sound. Okay? And sometimes they're even spelled the same, but just except one sound. So, bit and beat, fan, and van. You see, there's just the f and the v are different. And the rest is the same. And. One is fan, the second one is van. Sip, sip. Drinking, right, with a straw. Sip, sip. And zip, zip. So practice these minimal pairs. I am working on a lesson on minimal pairs, only minimal pairs. So, please bear with me, and I'll have that lesson up and running in a while. Mirror practice. So when we pronounce, we don't know how our lips are moving or the tongue inside our mouth is moving. So it would be good for you to, stand in front of a mirror, look into the mirror, and then pronounce the sound and pay attention to how your mouth is moving. You can play native English speakers' recordings. It's called audio shadowing, and you did that with me today when you pronounced some of the consonants. So listen to the radio, watch a movie, and listen. Pay attention to how actors in a movie, how they pronounce words, and then just repeat after them. And that way your pronunciation will improve a lot. Feel the throat. Always, if you're not sure if a sound is voiced or voiceless, all you have to do is just place your hand, like your hand or just one finger, okay? Place your hand on your throat and to make sure, is it voiced, is it voiceless? For example, s, 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 and then z, 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 p, p, and b, b. So practice the voicing and the non-voicing of the consonants, voiceless and both voiced and voiceless consonants. And lastly, try to record yourself. With technology, it's so easy you could just use your smartphone and speak into it and it will record it for you. And then you can listen to yourself and you can self-correct. So you may need to come back to this lesson, take it again, go all the way back, start the lesson again, pronounce all of the 25 consonant sounds, and keep paying attention to your pronunciation. Because when we speak, we do not hear ourselves. We don't know how others hear us. So it's important for you to record and then listen and then self-correct. Okay? Now, before I leave you, I recommend 2 very good resources for you. You may have noticed that there are tons of dictionaries, bilingual dictionaries and monolingual dictionaries, English to English dictionaries, and they tell you, they show you the meaning of the word, how to use them in sentences. Some of them give you synonyms and antonyms, and there is like a phonetic transcription right next to the word, but most people do not know how to decode those transcripts, this phonemes. So I recommend that you get the Longman Pronunciation Dictionary by J.C. Wells. It's called the LPD, Longman Pronunciation Dictionary. And make sure you get the 3rd edition. And I also recommend a Pronouncing Dictionary of American English. I hope you agree with me that pronunciation is very important. When a baby grows up, right, she or he, they don't read grammar. They listen to their parents and they speak. And you did that in your first language. as you're learning English as a second language, you need to do the same thing. Of course, it's good to read and it's good to know your English grammar rules, but it's also very important for you to improve your pronunciation. Okay? So thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.